Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Court Farms Country Park and episode 35 of the Let's Play series. So, I hope you're all doing very well and having a nice day. I'm just finishing off the levelling in the grass fields. We've done the little one over there a few minutes ago and we're just polishing off this one now. This will be the third and final growth that we get out of this cut before we need to re-prep and reseed in this field. And I am hoping that based on what we've had so far, 38 bales from the first cut, 38 bales from the second, so let's see how close we can get to that from the third cut. So yeah, bit of prep to do now. We're just going to run the lime spreader, top up the pH values. They're not too bad. The pH values are they're actually quite good, to be fair. 6.375 out of a needed 6.5, so hopefully it's not going to take too long to get that topped up. I've got the fent just over the hedge there, hooked up to the spreader, full of lime, and we're going to get both fields done there, so I'm going to get that done very quickly. And then the idea is I've got the TW35 hooked up to the manure spreader, and the idea is I'm going to hopefully make a bit of a dent in our big pile of manure and get that spread across both fields. I'm going to start with the smaller one, and then finish off with the big one over here. So that's the plan of attack so far for the beginning of this episode. So let's get this little beauty back over to the farm, jump in the fent, get the liming done, and as I say, the manure spreading, I think because there's going to be a bit of backing and toing to refill at the manure bunker, I'm going to pop that into a bit of a cinematic and see what we can get out of that. So yeah, I'll see you all very shortly. There we go, liming all done. That really didn't take too long at all, a matter of minutes, about 15 minutes I think to get both those fields done. So, no time to muck about, pun absolutely intended there. Let's get this manure spread, shall we? Right, there we go. Manure spreading all done. And there's that annoying bug again. Another one of me. Right, no. Really quite happy with that. That's gone down very well. We've still got a good chunk of the stuff left over in the bunker. We've got about just over 80 something thousand litres anyway. So what I think I'm going to do, just to be wise, or I hope I'm being a little bit wise here, field 57, the field that is going to be our cornfield, I think while I've got this hooked up, And as I say, trying to reduce the big stack that's in the bunker there, I think I'm going to get a bit of manure spread in that field, just in preparation for when we get the corn down. Yeah, it's not going to be the optimum amount, but if we put some of it down, at least the nitrogen level will be a little bit higher than what it is now. And then when we come to plant the corn, and then we do need to fertilise up to that level that the corn needs, we should be able to use a wee chunk less than what we would ordinarily have to do if we don't spread manure down. So that's the idea. So let's go get filled up again. And one of the reasons why I wanted to, I'm conscious of making a big dent and trying to get rid of a bit of that manure for now, is that it just looks a bit mucky, no pun intended. It's just quite a big stack of manure, and it's got a funny, the fill plane seems a bit funny on this particular bunker. It kind of sticks up in the air along the edges of the bunker, which is neither here nor there, don't get me wrong. It still works fine and does the job of a manure bunker, but as I say, I just thought I'd make a dent in it and get a bit more spread in the fields that need it. So let's go get topped up again. I'll get this one done off camera. Obviously I'm not going to do another cinematic here or anything like that. I'll just get it done, and I'll pick you all back up, hopefully, when it's finished. That's that job all done. Just flung a load of manure into this field. Now, obviously, I know we don't have a crop in this field yet, but I just thought I could use up a load of my manure, bring up the nitrogen levels just a little bit in preparation for when we do get the corn down. I haven't messed around with any application rates. I haven't deactivated anything like that. I've allowed the automatic application rate side of things to do its thing. And as I say, when we get the corn down, and it will no doubt need some top up with nitrogen, I will do that with the fertiliser spreader. And just doing it that way, with me not mucking around with it, I can ensure I get the best yield possible when it comes to the harvest of the corn. So, yeah, that'll do for now, and at least it's a personal preference here, but I've got rid of the lime white texture off the field. I must admit, I'm not a fan of keeping them like that. It just looks better and like that, I think. So, right. Anyway, what's next? Well, I've taken on a contract. I have found a harvesting contract in what I think is the biggest field on the map. Field 46, which is in the top right-hand corner of the map. It's actually just off our field 90, I think it is. In fact, let me just have a check, so I'm not driving. Here we are. Yeah, this is our field 90 here, and field 46 here is a field of soybeans, and there's a contract available to get that harvested. So I figured, let's get it done. Get a bit of money in the bank. It's just over £9,000. I think 9,600 actually. So I'll flip to the contract section. Where are we? There we go. Oh, 9,795. Forgive me, I was a few pounds off there. So yeah, essentially just under 10 grand. It's a nice big field, nice big harvest, which means that we may well get a decent bit of residual yield off that and make a couple of pounds extra on top of the job. So I'm quite looking forward to that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to get everything cleaned off. I'm going to top up this manure spreader with a little bit of what's left in the bunker, and then we're going to clean it off, put it away, and get everything. Whoops, took that corner a bit tight, didn't I? Yeah, we're going to get everything loaded up. I need to put some fuel in the harvester because it's quite empty, so I need to get that thing fueled up before we get harvesting in field 46. Right, there we go. That should. Yeah, there we go. Just emptying the bunker out as much as possible. Excellent stuff. Right, so as I say, I'm going to get everything cleaned off, and we'll get some equipment sorted out. We'll get the header trailer loaded onto a tractor. We'll fuel up the harvester. Now, obviously, as I say, I can access it from my field 90. So, for the sake of getting the harvester in there, I'm going to run the harvester down around the edge of field 90. Now, I do have crop destruction turned on. I've just realised I've just come across the jet washer. I do have crop destruction turned on, but at the minute, obviously, our crop hasn't even sprouted out of the ground yet, so I don't need to worry about destroying any crops, but I'm still going to do it slightly correctly. So I'm going to run our harvester around the edge of that field and take it down to field 46. But obviously I'm going to put that into a cinematic, and I'm going to be running course play in auto drive, so I have joined field 46 up to the auto drive network in a relatively correct fashion without having to go through our field. Yeah, so that's the idea anyway. Get things rolling. Bit of an afternoon harvest now, that should be quite nice I think, and I am keen to get a bit more money into the bank as usual. So I'll get all this done, we'll get this equipment washed off, we'll fuel up the harvester, and I'll join you back just before we get working. Right, all fueled up, ready to go. Let's go get this job done, shall we? So like, as I said before, I'm going to try my very best to neatly thread this thing around the edge of our field. I know the crop isn't visible and I'm not going to destroy anything, but it just seems the right thing to do instead of just barging straight diagonally across our field, across our planted soil. So I just need to squeeze myself neatly between here and there. Now I've got the header trailer right in front of the gate down there, so hopefully I should be able to squeeze this thing through the gate, hook up the header, shift the tractor and header trailer out of the way and get cracking. That's the idea anyway. I'm pretty sure this thing will squeeze through the gate. It's just one of the normal metal gates on the map, so it doesn't. I'm pretty sure this one doesn't fit through the wooden gates because they are slightly narrower, but the metal ones it does. So let's have a look, shall we? Make sure we don't knock into that tree. I'm going to have to swing out a few feet here, but we should. There we go. Excellent stuff. Right, so connect up the header. There we go there. Right, let's jump out, hitch up the PTO, and then we'll get this thing shifted over and just pop it on the left hand side, tucked into the hedge here, out the way. Shouldn't be in the way there, I don't think. Just pop it there till the job's done. There we go. Squeeze myself out of here. Yeah, I think that's worked out quite well. Right, so let's unfold the harvester, pull back a couple of inches just so that we can drop the header down, get that up and running, make ourselves a nice little path into the field. There we go. Excellent. Right, so we'll get cracking, pop this into a cinematic like I said, and I shall see you all in a wee while. Right, there we go. Harvest completed on that field. Not a bad job if I don't say so myself. Do you know what, let's turn that noisy thing off so I'm not trying to shout over it. Yeah, we're not done bad out of that one. We have made, from the excess crop, we've made £3,421. That's inclusive of the environmental score reward that you get. I think we got about 366 quid from that and 3,055 for the crop. So all in all, 3,421. Pretty chuffed with that. And obviously we've got I've got to turn in the contract, so we'll do that right away. And we can have a look at the bank balance. There we go. Collect. Done. So, £36,223. I'll do for me. So, I think it's a lovely evening now, don't you think? I'm going to get all the equipment back to the farm. The Renault and the trailer is now making its way back to the farm from the sell point there. So yeah, we'll get everything back to the farm, give everything a wash off, and then I'm going to figure out what to do from there. Right, there we go. Everything's back in the shed where it belongs, cleaned off and all sorted. So, what next? Well, I've been having a bit of a ponder over this, and to be honest, there's not going to be a huge amount going on the farm over the next couple of months. With winter coming up, all of our fields are drilled, apart from obviously 57 down there, which is waiting for the corn early next year. We're going to have a couple of fields of grass to cut, but what I'm thinking, the approach I think I'm going to take, because I don't think I've done it like this before, is essentially off camera. I'm going to keep the cows and the animals topped up over the next couple of months, but essentially that's all I'm going to do, and that doesn't bring with it a huge amount of decent content. It's just going to be just rinse and repeat, feed the animals, etc, etc. So what I'm going to do is essentially, from your guys' perspective, I'm going to essentially pop the camera down for a couple of months and pick you all back up in a few months' time, early next year, when I think there'll be a bit more to do, a bit more to crack on with, and a bit more content to be able to get into. Yeah, so and essentially when it comes to things like the pallets, our lettuce tunnels, the wool, the honey, and the bread, I'm essentially just going to let that build up over the next few months. So when I pick you back up, one of the first things I'm going to do is load up what I'm assuming will be a pretty vast trailer load of pallets, and just take them somewhere and get them all sold and see what we can bring in one big bulk lump sum, and go forward from there essentially. Because I'm very excited to get on with the corn. I'm looking forward to that. To get the planter running, and get that corn growing, and then essentially get it all foraged up and thrown into the bunker. So I'm going to keep on top of the cows and the animals off camera over the next couple of months, see what that brings in. We'll obviously we'll have an income from the milk. And that's the approach I'm going to take, I think, because it's just going to be a blanket of snow for the next couple of months, I think. So yeah, right. So for you guys, it'll be a matter of seconds. For me, a little bit longer. But in game time, I shall see you in a few months' time. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to March. So it's been a quiet few months, I'll be honest. Just keeping the cows fed and the animals, sheep, chickens and all that. Keeping them all topped up and healthy. But I felt it was, forgive me, I know it's maybe a little bit of an untraditional way of doing things, I suppose, but I felt there wasn't going to be a huge amount going on during the winter months. There's not much that needs harvesting or anything like that. There's not much work going on apart from just the usual baling contracts and stuff, but we've seen enough of those, haven't we? So here we are, March. And it might have worked out quite well financially anyway. We're currently sat on £141,600, and that has all been essentially milk sales, income from the campsite. Well, I think that's pretty much it. I've not done anything, literally, I've not done anything but feed the cows, feed the animals, sleep, rinse and repeat, essentially. And we're now at 141,600 quid. But what we have got is a gigantic backlog of pallets. We have got 12 pallets of bread set down at the bakery. We've got 30 pallets of wool behind the shed here. We've got 21 pallets of honey down there in the shed next to the bales, and we've got 40 pallets of lettuces at the foil tunnels. So we have got a huge amount of pallets to get loaded up and get sold. So the idea is, in my mind, that I'm going to do that right now. We're going to do it in stages, because obviously I'm not going to try and, as much as I think it might be a bit of fun to try and load everything onto one trailer in one go, it's not going to happen, is it? We have made a real big dent in our silage and straw bales now, as a result of just keeping everything topped up over the last few months. Essentially, I think it's 4 or 5 months, isn't it, essentially, that I've essentially not recorded and just fed the animals and done that. So all in all, we've got 102 pallets. So that's pretty good, and I'm hoping that all that in essentially one go, not one hit, not one sale, but one after the other, they're all going to bring in a decent amount of money. So I think no time like the present. I'm going to load up the flatbed trailer and get everything whizzed off to next door to the sell point. So let's go grab the trailer, and I think first I'm going to crack on with the wool, because there's as I say, we've got 30 pallets of them, and they're all quite big, so I am going to try and get them all on in one go. So essentially, each time I get to the sell point with a trailer of product, I will bring you all back in and show you what we get. There we go, everyone. 30 pallets of wool. Load number 1. Let's get this round here to the sell point, which I believe is the first one here. Oh, look at the lag there as we drive over that. Goodness me. Bring up the heads-up display. 34,446 plus 4,273. 38,600. Goodness me, yeah, just over £38,600 for that wool. Amazing. Right, okay. So we're here now. Next stop, lettuce tunnels, which are right here. So, as before, I'll see you in a few minutes. I'll get these loaded up. And here's the next one. 40 pallets of lettuces, all pretty well neatly stacked, if I don't say so myself. What do we get for this lot? Come on, let's have it all in one go, please. $22,700 and something, so brilliant, that'll do. Lovely stuff. 22 grand for lettuces. Right, I think the next ones we will try and get in one go. I'm going to go and get the honey and the bread from the bakery, and we'll run that down to town stores because that's closest to the bakery there. So, as before, again, I shall see you in a few moments when we've got something on the trailer. Rightio, ladies and gentlemen, off to town stores. Let's see what we get with this lot. And for the third and final time today, let's see what we get for this lot. Oh, you could have given me all in one go. I hate it when it does that. 24, so 25, 26, 27, 28, 31. So just under £32,000 for that trailer load alone. So now we are sat at a very healthy 234,960 quid. Brilliant. That is properly excellent. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to get myself back to the farm and figure out what to do from there. So see you back there in a second, guys. Right, back at the farm. There we go. Let's get that off there. I'll just turn that off for now. So, very happy with that result. All in all, from all of those pallets, all 102 of them, we made £93,337. So So that is truly excellent. Clearly made a big dent in the bales of hay as well. Now, I did have to start feeding those to the sheep. Thankfully, through the whole process of passing forward several months, the sheep started to run out of food, essentially. And if I go over to their field, as you can see, the central part, which I believe is the grazing area, they essentially ate it all. And when I went into the PDA, it was the purple colour to say harvested, and then when I shunted forward a month, it didn't grow back. So what I did was I ran the levelling board, you know, the weeder machine with essentially the grass roller over the top of it, and now when you go into the PDA, it's there. It says it's growing, but there doesn't seem to be any visual sign of it. So I'm not too sure whether I'm going to have to reseed this area. If any of you out there who are a bit more familiar with the way that the animal pastures work, if you've got any helpful advice for me in that respect, I'd be greatly appreciative. Do I need to reseed this, or because it's an animal pasture, will it just grow by itself? It's been in a couple of months now, and it hasn't done anything. So I'm a bit unsure about what to do. I did think that the animal pastures also worked in the way that you could paint on the grass, essentially, from the landscaping mode. You could paint the grass back on, and they'd take from that. And I did try that, and that's what that little dark patch is there. But that, to me, signifies that I've just killed that area of field, essentially. There's no grass, there's no growth, there's no field, essentially, from doing that. So I went over it with the levelling board, obviously, and this is the result. So obviously I'm going to keep my eye on it, but for now I'm just going to have to keep topping these guys up with some hay. For now, it's a good job that both the grass fields are ready to cut. That'll be something that we'll be doing in the next episode. But what we will be doing in the next episode, because we are now in the second day of March, the next episode is going to be the 1st of April. And that means corn. That means I can get the corn into the ground, so I'm extremely excited and looking forward to getting that done. That will probably be the first job in the next episode, I think. The field is all ready to go in that respect. But as I say, yeah, the grass field here is ready to be cut, and as is the big one again over this side. Now this will be cut 3 of this growth of grass. So as before, I'll be keeping a record of the bales. Hopefully we get somewhere near 38, which has been the result from cut 1 and 2. But yeah, as I say, we'll turn this one into hay, stock up on the hay bales, and I think last time we got 17, I think, if my memory serves me correctly. So somewhere around that number again would be ideal. But I think for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to call it there. Now forgive me if it's a few minutes shorter than normal. As I say, it's just been one of those crazy episodes where I've tried to get quite a lot done, but turns out that the episode has ended up being shorter than normal, but hey ho, it is what it is. Oh, and well, obviously over the passage of the last several months, we've got an absolute shed ton of slurry and manure as well. If I pop very quickly into the PDA, to the animal menu, there we go. So the cows, 365,800 litres of slurry. Now, whether I still am going to experience the bug with, I think it was about 70,000 litres of slurry I couldn't access, but time will tell that. And obviously now we have a bunker stuffed full of manure. We have 217,125 litres in this lot, so yep, plenty of that to go around. So yeah, forgive me. Anyway, as I say, I'm going to call it here for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really hope you've enjoyed it and found it a little bit of fun and interesting. And as always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I do things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and giving the video a like if you have liked it, and leave me any comments, any suggestions if you've got them for me, and any help and advice if you've got regarding the animal pastures, and do I need to reseed that, or will it just go by itself? So thanks again, everyone, and I shall see you in the next episode.